Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here. My name is Ngozi and welcome to Discover Ngozi, where I post reviews, sit down videos, vlogs and story time. Today's video is a bit different. I've been thinking of like what to film that I feel like might be hopefully relatable to people and that I feel like people don't really talk about as much. So as you can tell from the title, you already know what this video is about, so let's just get straight into it. So I feel like a lot of the times when like uni is finished, for some people like they're fine like navigating life after, but I know some people deal with like post-uni like anxiety and post-uni depression and all of that stuff, and I feel like it's not really spoken about. So here are just some tips and stuff that I've been doing ever since I finished uni. Now I finished just about 2 months ago now, and like this is it, like I'm done like with education, because I've had like my degree and then I did my master's, still waiting for my grades, but hopefully that's fine. And it's a very different life like when you come back into the real world, and because uni is such a bubble, it's so easy to kind of like forget what it's like when you're back. I don't know, but for me it's definitely very different. So I think the first step is when you finish with uni is to let go of the uni life, like because in uni time is for a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, that time kind of doesn't become a thing anymore. Like your bedtime just gets mixed up and you're having like a time with your friends to like 5 a.m. and time is just not a thing anymore. Things that don't happen in the real world happen a lot at uni. So I feel like the first step is just to let go and realize that it's done now. And I know sometimes I see people like reminiscing a lot, and that's fine, like if reminiscing on good times, but it's also quite difficult to adjust, especially if you're going back home or something after living alone like in student halls for a long time. It's so hard to like adjust back to not having as much independence as you used to, or for some people as much freedom as you used to. So I feel like letting go of it is one good step, and just realizing that that's a stage of your life that it's finished now, and just appreciating that if you had a good time, like you had a good time, but it is done and then it's time for the next step. I feel like just that mindset alone is really healthy, and it's quite useful when you're done, so that you don't like keep just thinking of like the uni blues and how like much freedom you used to have. And I feel like there's time for everything. Like there's time for school, there's time for uni, there's time for the real life, there's time for a family, there's time for everything. And I think that it's just a step-by-step process, because for me especially, because I've like for all my education was always almost from the age of 9 till 21, it was non-stop living away from home, like in a boarding school or in a uni. So like 2 schools, 2 universities, and it was never really like stable. It was always moving. So when I came back now to like where I live in UK, I've tried to do things to make it a bit more homey, because this has never been a place where I was here permanently, because I'll only be here for like uni breaks or school breaks, and then I'll be back to my base. So I've never really had a base, so I've just come to terms with like, now that I'm back I have a base, and I'm trying to make it more like homely and stuff. I know for some people they're back with their family, I'm not gonna lie, that's rough. Like going from living in a student hall to living back with your family, it's an adjustment that is not easy, because you've had that experience of like having your room how you want, eating when you want, doing things when you want, and now you're back in your family home, and now you have to do things back as like a family unit. For some people, I know everybody's different, so I know that's not easy. So for me it's not really like that, because my family don't live here. So it's still kind of, I am still by myself, but obviously not as much as I was when I was at university. And for me, living alone is something that I've always loved. Like from boarding from such an early age has made me like love independence and like crave my own company. So I'm one of those people that I genuinely like living alone. I love company, don't get me wrong, but I am so used to my own company and I have no problem with it. So yeah, letting go of it is the first step. And the second thing I'd say is, I feel like in life it's good to find something that makes you money, something you're passionate about, and something that keeps you sane. If you're lucky enough to have a job that gives you all those 3 things, then that's great. But for a lot of people that is not the case. So for me, I started looking for jobs straight after uni. I wasn't job hunting during uni time, because honestly in this life I just like a stress-free life. Like I know a lot of people were like looking for graduate jobs like from like months before uni ended, which is really good. Like if that's how you are, that's good. But for me, job hunting was something that I didn't want it to stress me. I wanted to just enjoy my time at uni. Doing my masters is the only time I didn't work. I worked in 1st and 2nd year and a bit in 3rd year, but doing my masters I didn't work, and I didn't want to. I just wanted to just enjoy the time, because I knew it was just 1 year, and then I wanted to like let myself slowly ease into like the employment life. So first, I think the second step is finding what makes you money. So I started applying for jobs the day I submitted my dissertation, the day I sent to that stupid Canvas website. I started looking for jobs, and luckily enough I did find a job within like 3 weeks of searching. So I'm working from home, and I feel like that's one reason as well why it's, for me, it's been easier to adjust, because that whole 9 to 5 life, wearing a suit, going to the office, I've always known it's never been for me. Like, it's so weird because I've never even worked in an office, but I've known that it's not for me from for as long as I remember. For some people, I know they love the corporate world, and that's great if that's you, but if that's not you, I'd recommend finding like a work from home job if you don't want to, because I know after COVID a lot of people got used to just being a homebody and like not going out too much. So I feel like if that's you and you kind of get, I don't have social anxiety, but I rather just not going, like physically going to work every day. I'd rather do it at home. So I found a job from home. How I did that was I tweaked my CV a bit. So in the past, every job that I have done where I was either doing taking calls or taking interviews on the phone, like I highlighted that on my CV, and then it really helped me because the minute I switched up my CV, the employers were so much more responsive. So I'm working now. It's not like it's 8 hours a day, so it's still a 9 to 5, but the hours are more flexible because you can choose between like a 10 to 6, 11 to 7, so it's flexible. So I've now entered that step of like finding something that makes me constant money, because I just feel like financial security is it's peace of mind, knowing that every month something is coming through every month. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's because a lot of people who are like self-employed and stuff, I'm sure, and if you're like in the industry where it's flexible and your profits is seasonal, it's great. But I feel like having something that's coming in constantly is also great as well. So I think find something that makes you money. Don't worry if it's taking you longer than others to find a job, and be specific what you want, because I was very specific. I didn't want to go, like, I've done those jobs, casual jobs in the past where you do like waitressing or hospitality. I said to myself, hospitality will never see me again. If you watch my story time of my receptionist job from hell, you would know like just some of what I've experienced in the hospitality industry. It wasn't fun and it wasn't for me. So I was really specific. I knew I wanted to work remotely, and a lot of people were like, oh, but the chances of that is so low, like remote work is so scarce. But I got it in the end. So be specific what you want. Don't be scared to like for it. If you like can, like if you're being supported, I don't know, by family or something, then I feel like you should be specific and find that job that you want, because I'm not the type of person to do something that I hate. So as I was trying to find the job that I wanted, my sister sometimes would be like, why don't you just do like a casual role for now, like waitressing? But I've already been there and I've already done that, and I was very specific that I never wanted to go back to that industry again. But that's just me. I know not everyone's like this, and I know not everyone like has the opportunity to still be supported by like your family until you find your own feet. But in my case, luckily I was able to wait it out until I found one, and by God's grace I didn't have to wait long at all. I got a job literally 3 weeks or less than that while applying. I think the third step is, if you haven't already, you should find something you're passionate about. If you have any craft that you do, I feel like you should try and make that your second source of income or happiness. I know it sounds really cringy, but like if you are like good with hair or good at lashes or nails, I feel like you should find more time to do that, because now that I feel like being occupied is a good way as well to let go of like the post-uni stress and like post-uni depression for people that have suffered from that. So for me, I'm really passionate about making content, whether that's YouTube or TikTok, and I'm enjoying it because I know that I'm doing it, and I know that one day hopefully it will work out like for me in the way that I want it to. But till then, I'm still gonna be doing it, you know what I mean? So find your hobby if you haven't already, and try and balance it with the thing that makes you money, if it's two separate things, because for me it is at the moment, because my job is what's making me money, and something that I'm passionate about is making content. So I'm trying to navigate both of them, which is difficult, even if it means you can only film on weekends, which has become my life now. Try and do it. The third step, I think maintaining your friendships is so important. Before I went to uni, people always used to say, oh, at uni you find friends for life, blah blah. My first experience of uni was not exactly like that. I did find really good, like one or two of my closest friends are from my first university, and I really do think that we would always be friends. But during my masters, I feel like I met more people that I see in my life long term. And maintaining friendships is so important for me anyways. I feel like I've always been good at maintaining friendships because I've moved around a lot, and I still have people from like different walks of life in my life. So I think maintaining your friendships is important because you don't want to end up living in your 20s where you're living the life of like a 40-year-old single mom that has like no life anymore and stuff. If it's something that you still want to be going out and you still want to like have a social life, you have to maintain your friendships. You have to make that effort to be in contact with them. I know some friendships are different, so I have some friends where we speak almost on a daily basis, some friends that, and then some friends we don't speak, and then we speak after 3 months and we meet up and it's completely fine. So it depends the kind of friendships, but I feel like maintaining your friendships is important because you want to keep those people that you met and that you got along so well with. You want to keep them, but I don't think you shouldn't force it though. Don't force the friendship. Some friendships were really just uni friendships. There's some people that uni is done now, we don't speak anymore, but there's no hard feelings there. It's all love, but really and truly we were just uni friends. There was nothing more. So I think maintain the friendships that were important to you and make effort to make time for it, even if you're seeing them just on every 3 weekends or something. Just don't lose the good friendships you made, and I think that is really important, to be honest. Like when I was younger, honestly, I didn't understand, not like I didn't value friendship, but I value friendship more now that I'm older than I was when I was younger. Like when I was younger, it was kind of like one strike and you're out, which is so bad. But I've grown a lot in terms of that, and I've realized like people are important, the right people, you know? So maintain your friendships. Network. You know the thing about networking, yeah, it really annoys me when people talk about networking like it's easy. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think networking is easy. I think networking is quite difficult, and it's very it's based on the situation. Because when people say like network, like what does that even entail? What does that even mean? It's not easy to do. I know what it means, but it's not easy to do. But if you're someone that you're like in a situation where you're being invited to events or workshops and stuff, like talk to people, you know? So like I haven't been going to as much events as I used to when I was at uni, obviously, but when I do go, I make sure that I'm not like being in my shell, and like I talk to people, even if that's networking just so that you guys can collab together. It doesn't always have to be based around money, or like I don't know if I even believe that whole your net worth is your network, your net worth is your network. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I believe that, but if you do, that's do you, but I don't know if I believe that. All I know is that I think networking is important because you never know when someone is gonna like tie into like your story. So networking is important, but I do acknowledge that it's difficult to do. I don't think it's as easy as people make it seem, and I hate that people make it seem like it's so easy because I don't think it is, but maybe that's just me. This step as well, I think is so important. Don't compare yourself to others on social media. In this day and age, yeah, if you're past the age of 21 and you don't have your own apartment and you don't have a stable relationship, or you don't have like 2 streams of income, you might feel like a failure. I like that our generation is really like determined, but I don't like the amount of pressure that comes with it, because it's so funny because on social media, like so much is fake on there. Like some people will actually hire out a studio that looks like a private jet just so that they'll post a picture on Insta so it looks like they're on a private jet. Like for me, that's just the wrong way to go about things, you know? But I feel like you can't compare yourself with people on social media. If you're past your 20s, if you're in your 20s and you haven't moved out yet, you don't have to feel like a failure. Just because it hasn't happened for you yet, it doesn't mean that's not going to happen for you. So that's something I consciously do, not compare myself to others, because the way I find it, like everybody's story is so different. It's so different. Like we all have different paths in life, and sometimes people make it earlier than others, and sometimes people make it earlier than others, and then it doesn't stay that way. Sometimes it does. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so situational. So I feel like so long as you have a plan that you believe in and that is like focused, you don't have to worry about what A, B, and C are doing. You don't have to worry about, oh my god, I haven't moved out yet, blah blah blah. Like don't let the pressure get to you, because comparison, it really is the thief of joy, and it's something that I've always known. I've always tried to make sure that I wasn't comparing myself to others, and it really helps with peace. Like it really does give you peace. The thing I would say is you should start making future plans towards what you want. So even if it's something that you're trying to save up for a mortgage, or you're trying to save up for a car, or you're trying to just try to start that thing that you really want to do, everybody has their own dreams and goals, and I feel like learn more about investments, learn more about, because they don't teach you this stuff at school. You have to really just figure out yourself. I think thinking of starting your first investments on your first savings towards something that you want is also something that is really important to do during uni, after uni. But yeah, guys, these are just the things I've just been thinking about and things that have helped me. I know job hunting is difficult, but it's just a matter of time. I know for some people they suffer from post-uni depression, and I get it. I haven't gone through that, but I understand, because I can see how that can happen, because it really, you just left a bubble and now you're back in the real world. But I hope this video was helpful or relatable to at least someone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and thank you so much for watching this video if you reached the end, and see you guys next week. Bye.